Today on Q&J, I tried to come up with a pun about the fog, but I missed.
Q and J.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Q&J. As always, my name is Jay. It's the last day of the month, so it's time to do another Q&J. And I decided, I took kind of a month off, February, but I'll talk about why in a future painting with Jay probably, but it'll be okay. So let's answer some Qs with some Js today. So we'll start off with Mystify. I think I just got it. Mystendify. Mystify. Hey Jay, all the game stores in my area are getting rid of Warhammer 40k Fantasy, War Machine, and Hordes. That sucks. That's not good. But I still want to play those games, but the stores got rid of their gaming tables as well. What would you recommend? I would recommend, unfortunately, one person at least in your meta or your friends should build a table. Maybe not you if you don't have the funds, but one of you should build a table. Because then if you build a table, they will come. It's really true. My friend Rob had a table and that helped keep us together while I was playing in Kitchener. And then I moved to Peterborough where I could play with people. But it's essentially you have to build a table. That or you could play on games. Like if you really don't want, the thing is, it's not the same. But there are online systems that you can play against each other. I forget their names. But Vassal's one of the names. But I'd prefer if it would be better if one of you just build a table. Or simply buy, go to IKEA and buy 3 of their desks that are 2 feet by 4 feet. Put them together. So this only costs I think it's like $100 total or something. It's not very expensive. You put them together and you have a 6 feet by 4 feet perfect table in which you could just put some terrain on and you're good to go. That's another option. So, yeah. That's what I recommend. Mikey Vengas says, "Hello Jay, what would you recommend for Vanishing an Army? Games Workshop Purity Seal? For Varnishing, I'm guessing. Varnish. Vanishing an Army is a very different story. Now I can talk to you about that in a future video. Mikey Vengas. But for Varnish, I like to use, I prefer Vallejo Primer. I use Vallejo Primer, that's not Vallejo Primer, I use Vallejo Varnish with an airbrush. And that's what I like to use. Usually they're satin varnish. That's what I typically use. Games Workshop Purity Seal is very finicky. I've had bad results for many of the other brands. Matte finish is preferable. So then you just I'd go Vallejo. My favorite is Vallejo, so I'd go Vallejo matte. Any recommendations? Yep, that's it. But thank you as always for your question, Mikey Vengas and Mystify. Perils the Wall says, Jay and Black Tom. Space sharks are the Carcadons, which is a Bata War Forge World Space Marine chapter. Carcadons. Me no pronounce. The rules are free on the Forge World downloads page under 40k armies. Awesome. That's really cool. Black Tom says Perils the Wallet. I will tell them to give them a look, but having something more recently released, or at least something compatible, would be something more in line of what I'm looking for. What his friend's looking for. Christopher Tucker says, new Space Wolf models and rules. What's your opinion on them? Cool. I really like them. The Wolfen, they're really cool models. They add a lot of flavor, more fun to the Space Wolves. And of course, I'll be doing a codex, or like a kind of a codex review on the more updated Goskal Thraka codex in the near future as well. But I think they're really cool. They look awesome. The models look amazing. They're a bit expensive here in Canada, but they look great and they have cool rules. Arshalon says, hi Jay, new 40k player here. I was wondering what would you recommend using for primer? I personally I'm an airbrusher. So the primer I always recommend the most is Stynylrez primer. It is my favorite primer, bar none. I love their black and I love their gray. Their white's pretty good too, but I don't use it very often. I'm a gray and black primer guy. But that's my favorite one. I use an airbrush and I use Stynylrez primer from Minotaur is my favorite. It's way better than the shaker cans, I find. Now, if you are a shaker can user, I'd recommend Krylon. I like the Krylon acrylic primers because they're relatively cheap and they have a great finish to them as well. What would you recommend? Thank you. Wisconsin isn't known for 50 degrees weather until May. That's the thing. If you have the option of indoors, I would recommend, like if you have the option of spraying indoors, that's why I highly recommend an airbrush primer, because I can spray it indoors because I have an airbrush, and it saves you a lot of time. That way, it doesn't create a giant smoke cloud when you're using an aerosol can. But that's it. But thank you very much for your question, Arshalon. What would you recommend then? And thank you for your How to Play Warhammer 40k 7th Edition video. Thank you very much. They've been a great help for me and my friends understand the game, so we can dive into the game for the first time. Oh yeah, and how would one balance the Dark Vengeance set? A lot more Chaos models, because the Dark Vengeance set is way too imbalanced on the Dark Angels side. The Dark Angels are much stronger than the Chaos Marines. I'd throw in like twice as many cultists, because that might have some fun. Yeah, something like that. Twice as many cultists. Or a Helldrake. Helldrake would definitely balance it. Possibly even throw it in the favor of the Chaos side, but Helldrake would be pretty fun. I enjoy playing Space Marines, and my brother enjoys Chaos. However, the two armies seem really imbalanced. Yeah, I definitely agree. I've added figures to both sides. However, it still feels unbalanced since the cultists really seem like they're crap. Yep, as I said, you could do twice as many cultists or Helldrake. RXPXD says, hey Jay, what models would you recommend getting as I'm looking into starting a 40k army or an orc army? 1,000 to 1,500 points. Perfect. So knowing now the new Gospel Thraka, I'd actually get the Start Collecting Orc set. That's it. And the new one with Gruck Face Rip-Up. With their knobs. One or the other. But I think the Start Collecting Orc set comes with a Pain Boy, comes with a Death Dread, some boys, and some knobs. It's a perfect combination of what you want to start collecting. Then get a truck. If you want a truck for your boys. But I think the Start Collecting sets are bang for your buck, unbelievable deals for an orc player. And as well as most any other army. But that's where I'd recommend getting as a start of your army and then build from there. Now the question then is, do you want to go Goskal Thraka or the normal orc supplement? And what theme do you really want to your army? Do you really want a fast, hard-hitting army with tons of trucks? Do you want a Killacan Walker army like I like to run? Do you want speed freaks, bunch of bikes, bunch of trucks and battle wagons? Decide what theme you want and then go from there. But a great core is like the Start Collecting set, for sure. And then just add on where you want and what theme you really want. Do you want to go, and it also depends on what kind of orc army you want. Do you want to go Death Skulls? Do you want to go Evil Sons? Because they come along with their own themes. Like Evil Sons are really fast, so you really want a fast, hard-hitting army. Kevin Shelley says, Army Builder requires no yearly subscription anymore. It's just a one-time $40 purchase. Perfect. That's even better than it was when I said it. So I highly recommend Army Builder from Lone Wolf Studios for building your army list. It's a great, great product. But thank you very much for pointing that out, Kevin Shelley. Jim White says, Jay, do you have problems getting flood insurance because you have a brook running through your house too often? Oh, Jim White. Jim White. And we'll talk about that comment in my next Painting with Jay. Yeah. Whoop. Hey, don't click on stuff. Big Mech Dan Skull says, hey Jay, I was wondering what processor and video card do you have in your computer? I don't even know. Well, I know what I'm running. I'm running an i7 or an i5. Let me see. Let's look up stuff while we're talking. System. Let's, so I'm running an i5 3570 quad-core processor, 3.8. I've clocked it to 3.8. And video card? I don't even remember. Oh my goodness, I should find this out. All right, let's look up stuff quickly. System. Let's look up my device manager. I'll find it for you. I'm actually looking at the computer as we speak. So I am running something. I'm running an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 680. GTX 680. So, pretty good card. I think that's it. Yeah. So, good stuff there. So far, my phone has got me by, but I'm limited on what editing software is available, so I've decided to upgrade to a home computer. That's a good idea. Definitely recommend that. Most of my videos will be short vlogs, probably no longer than 10 minutes, but I like to branch out into bat reps, so I want something more capable of handling longer vids. I appreciate any help you can offer advice. Pretty much anything these days. I like to build my own computers, that way I get exactly what I want. Most really good laptops can run at a pretty good speed. Even laptops, and plus they're a little more versatile. I like to build, like I have a desktop. I have 16 gigs of RAM in my desktop. I'm running, as you see, an i5, great processor, and I have a decent video card. In the end, I'd probably upgrade my video card first before anything else. And I have a liquid cooled system to keep my computer going at a great speed. So that's what I pretty much recommend. As I said, depends on what kind of hardcore stuff you're doing. I do some stuff with After Effects and stuff. Not a whole lot, but some of that. And so yeah, I find that mine really meets my needs. And my computer I built was only about $700 Canadian. Wasn't too crazy, I think. Bertozzi Motorsports says, "Love your show, Jay. I've been a long-time subscriber that paints to your videos often." Excellent. I'm very happy about that. "Is there any other pages you enjoy watching other than your own? Also, at the end of April, there's a tournament in Cambridge called Canhammer. Will you be attending?" I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll try to get off, and if I can, maybe I'll go. In Cambridge. I'm hoping you mean Cambridge, Ontario, because I don't live near Cambridge, UK. Canhammer. No, it's definitely Canadian. Definitely Canadian. I'll have to see. I'll definitely think about it. Great, thank you very much for the suggestion, Bertozzi Motorsports. And what other channels do I like? I watch mini Wargaming every now and then, obviously. I keep up with my buddy Owen, which is Gaming with the Cooler. Most of the WGC channels I keep an eye on, like the Wargamers Consortium by itself, Awesome Paint Job, by Painted, Girl Painting, a lot of the painting channels I watch. Girl Painting, Painting Buddha. Just go through my subscribers here. It's like, yeah, my channels, where do I subscribe to? Yeah, Scarred Cost. You know, a bunch of channels. Whenever I'm up for a battle report for Warmachine Hordes, I watch, Wargamer Girl. So, tons of channels out there. Tons of channels. Occasionally Striking Scorpion. He has some good battle reports as well. But thank you very much for your comment and your question, Bertozzi Motorsports. Master Dwellin says, "Hi Jay. So you plan to start to play Age of Sigmar? Nice. A lot of people hate it. I'm thinking about it. Either dwarves, which are now called Fire Slayers, or Seraphim. That's what I've narrowed it down to. But I think it's not so terrible. I recommend to read some of the popular house rules and point systems, SDK. It's a fun game with a lot of great fan-made options to improve the game. Watch some Tabletop Minis battle reports to see these things in action. Excellent. So my question for this episode, do you have a dream miniature? Which do you really want to have and paint?" Ooh, good question. Well, my dream miniature doesn't exist yet. I would really like to paint Dorn. He's one of the out of all the fluff for the Horus Heresy, Dorn is my favorite character. I'd really like to paint Dorn, to be honest. And Forge World will eventually come out with a Dorn model, but not yet. So that would be kind of a cool one. Which one actually exists that I haven't painted yet? A Gargantuan Squiggoth. That or a Mega Grot Tank. Yeah, for sure. But thank you as always, Master Dwaylen. You have been a long, long time subscriber. And he helped me bring back Painting with Jay, which is now one of my favorite series to paint. So thank you so much, as always, Master Dwaylen. Manuel Little says, "Hey Jay, just wanted to say your Painting 101 really helped me out a lot. Thank you so much. I'm not playing, but got into painting recently. Just any figure I find good looking. Learned a lot. Thank you very much. Vielen lieben Dank und weiter so." Exactly. Because I know... Let's look... I wonder if I translate. I'm guessing it's German. Let's try. Google Translate and see what I just said really poorly in English. By the way, everyone, happy leap year today. Many thanks and keep it up. Perfect. Awesome. In English. That was German. So, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Mark Max says, hey Jay, are you coming to Adepticon this year? Yes. I'm coming, and it's going to be a great time. Easy question. I am stupidly looking forward to it. I need 5 days off from my life, and I'm taking it at Adepticon. I'm going to have fun, meet people, film, have a great time. That's what it's about, and probably chill with the Badger Booth people as well. They're fun people. Andrew McCormick says, hi Jay, looking for your thoughts on the new Corsair list. Do you think it is OP? Yeah, it's pretty strong. It is, well, really strong. Second question, what is the best way to reliably take down knights? Necron... Alright, well, you need Melta. It's not... Alright, knights are very vulnerable. Very vulnerable. They're so much more vulnerable than gargantuan monster creatures, in my opinion. The reason is, they can only they only have an invuln from one side. So, number one, split your army. If you want to take down a knight, you got to flank them. Take them on from the sides and from the back. And your opponent can only call one side of the shield. They'll call the side that probably has the most models, but then the other sides are so much more vulnerable, and that's how you take down knights. The simplest way, right? So if you have a fast army, get around them, force them to call a side, split up your fire, and hopefully get, a good roll. That's what I find, especially with Meltas. A Melta can do so much damage because if it pens, which the odds are it will from a close range, it's a 1 in 3 chance of getting multiple hull points off. And in my battle reports, whenever someone does it to me, they always get like 3 or 4 hull points off. So that's the number one thing. You got to flank them, got to get around the sides, got to get around the back. You can't face a knight from one direction, because then your opponent calls the 4-up invulnerable save from that side, and then you're looking at half your shots getting through. Second thing is, Meltas obviously are amazing. Gauss can be really good if you can get around them. But mostly Meltas. Meltas are by far the easiest way of killing a knight. Or D. If you have any strength D, pop a knight. The other option is just blatantly tar pitting a knight. If you can't kill it, tar pit it. Stomp will be nasty, but if you can tar pit a knight with some fearless units, you could detect, hold it up for a turn or two, that'll really save a lot of guys and prevent it from getting close to. So that's another option. Third question, what would you add to Chaos Space Marines to make them competitive and bring people back to playing them? Drop pods. They need drop pods. If Chaos Space Marines had drop pods, combined with the awesomeness that they have, like imagine 1,000 Suns in drop pods with AP3 guns. Drop pods. First thing, drop pod. Boom. Nice. Second thing, make their HQs even better. Karn the Betrayer, make him more survivable. Give him Eternal Warrior. He deserves it. Another option, give him some options that, give them an equivalent to Centurions. Because Space Marines have Centurions, which are by far one of the nastiest units Space Marines have access to. You can make the Terminators better for Space Marines. There's tons of things that they could do. But first thing I'd say is drop pods. Bob Smith says, Jay, your Orc Bat Reps help me to choose to paint and play Orcs. Thank you so much. Any more on the way? Yes. Or there was one recently. There was one since this. There was the Orcs versus Sisters of Battle one, and I will be playing the new Goskal Thraka one once I get the supplement models complete. I don't even have most of the models to play the army now, which is kind of sad. Also, I've never seemed to see people use Weird Boys, with the Maleficent demonology powers. Why not? Summoning demons always gives the boys something else to smash, and it's a laugh to see the Weird Boy's head explode. Exactly. The reason why is because Orcs, the strength in the Orcs is their HQs. The War Boss is really good on a bike. The Pain Boy is really good for giving Feel No Pain, and the Big Mechs are awesome for defense, because if they give a 5-up invulnerable save, or you can give the super one from the Goskal Thraka Codex to give a 4-up invulnerable save. You need these things in synergy to keep your Orcs alive. Weird Boys are the fun, really random option. that just gets dropped by the side because they're by far one of the weakest options, right? They're usually only a level 1 psyker. They don't have a very good leadership. If they peril, they die. You know, they don't have a good armor save, so they're fun. They're like a fun model, don't get me not, but they're not competitive by any means, but they're fun. Willie, Feed Willie Style says, "Hi Jay, I love your videos. Miniature Painting 101 has helped me immensely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone talking about Miniature Painting 101. It's awesome. Something I thought about is a small change that would help balance out assaults in 40k would be to change Overwatch so that the models or unit being assaulted would roll 1d6 and get to Overwatch on a 5-up. What do you think?" Alright, so the models or unit being assaulted would roll 1d6 and get Overwatch on a 5-up. That's not bad because it's only one shot. That wouldn't be bad at all. Another option is just remove from... the other option is to simply remove from the back. You know, because then it won't hurt the distance. So the next comment here is, "Hi Jay," from Diobek Inferno, says, "Hi Jay, the Warp channel is not available in Poland." So I'm going to check that right now, because I thought it was available in Poland. Maybe not. Maybe his paid channels are not yet available in Poland. But let me see. And if not, here we go. Okay. Polish zloty. Here we go. So I'm going to create for you, because it only must have come up recently because I update the countries pretty quickly. But Diobek Inferno, the Warp will now be available in Poland because of you, and I'm going to start it off at the introductory price for the next couple months. So here we go. It's now going to be in Polish zloty. Let me see if I can create that offer. End in 5 or 9. All right. There we go. It is now created. So now people in Poland now have access to the Warp thanks to your comment. That's how powerful Q&J is. We just increased the Warp countries available. DZ Saber / GZ Saber in Canada. Jay, thank you so much for your input about the camera. It is really helpful. My wife tried to get me a camera for Christmas, but was not really for video, so we returned it and set the money aside for a camcorder. So now I have a Canon Vixia HFR 62. Perfect. That's a great one. I know exactly what I want. I practiced with it at my friendly local gaming store and have a whole new respect for what it takes to try to put a bat rip together. I hope to get a video up on my channel beginning of March. Thanks once again for the advice. No problem. DZ Saber, tell me when it's up. I would love to watch it, for sure. I love help supporting new YouTube channels, especially in our niche. Daniel Jefferson says, "As ever, thank you for your input on everyone's questions. As there is the new campaign with Space Wolves and Grey Knights, what do you hope they bring in terms of units formations for Grey Knights?" I think they need more units. They really do. Grey Knights need more options. Now for troops, Terminators and Strike Squad. Pretty standard stuff. Maybe an equivalent to Scouts. I think it'd be kind of cool if they had an equivalent to Scouts. So that way they have a 2-up armor, a 3-up armor, and a 4-up armor option. That'd be kind of cool. Grey Knights on bikes would be hilarious. Or an equivalent, like, imagine Grey Knights riding demons. Then they'd have to kill the demon afterwards. It'd be interesting. Drop pods. Drop pods. And that's what people are doing. Like, a lot of the cheesy Grey Knight players lists are, you ally with someone, take all the allies' drop pods, and you drop your guys in the drop pods. But I don't really know. That only really is strong for, like, your Purifier squad and stuff that doesn't have access to deep striking, because the Terminators and the Paladins just are amazing with their deep striking abilities turn 1. But drop pods. That'd be awesome. I gotta get been saying drop pods. I think it's gonna be the name of this video. Drop pods. That's gonna be the only name of this Q&J. Or drop pods. Demon Wolf says, "Hi Jay, loving the live video for the UK European hobbyist. Thank you for the across the pond love." No problem. As I said, I'm going to do live shows starting even more and more often. I've taken a break from February, and I'm going to talk about it in probably this week in a painting with Jay. I've been going through some stuff, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm better now. Am I 100% no? But I'm going to talk about it. Life is full of unexpected things. Let's just say that. Although I'm loving my Grey Knights, and I seem to be one of the few who likes the fact that the Dex has taken a step back to the old Demon Hunters Codex. Yeah, I really liked it when it had Assassins and Inquisition in it too. Do you think GW should update the Grey Knight Codex? And if so, if you do, how do you think they would do it? Drop pods! Yeah, it's not much. Maybe bring back the ghosts. Bring back the interesting units, like the ghost guys. Were amazing. They were fun. They were cool. You know, bring back more options. That's all we need. More options. You know, have some fun options. Other side, 2501 says, why do you have a mattress standing in the background? Is it for echoes or is it just a ghetto fab? A little bit of both. Sound options. And it's also ghetto fabulous. Both. As an aside, if you're ever in Denver, hit me up. Sure. I will gladly. I don't know if you drink or not. Not really. But if you do, my friends and I will take you out and show you one hell of a night. I'm actually not a bigger drinker. I drink occasionally, but not very often. But that's okay. Nothing against it. Y20K90 says, hey Jay, I've gone and started collecting some Grey Knights and Chaos Space Marine units. Cool. Or Codex Space Marine units. In the intention of making good versus evil diorama. So I'm guessing Chaos Space Marines. I have a box of Purifiers and 2 boxes of Paladins and the Grey Knight Captain. Cool. For the Grey Knight and a Demon Prince and 2 Chaos Space Marine squads and 10 and 2 boxes of Raptors. Anything you think I'm missing that would go well with these few Demon Prince? No, you already have a Demon Prince. Also, any suggestions for a place to get good terrain from? Greenleaf Terrain. Greenleaf Terrain if you want to get custom-made terrain. He's my favorite terrain maker. So for the Grey Knights, you're in great shape. You have Paladins, you have a Grey Knight Captain, and you have a box of Purifiers. Very much represents Grey Knights, for sure. For the Chaos side, you may want to get some, like, Spawn. Something Chaos, like, demony. You know what I'm saying? Like, Chaos Spawn would be kind of cool. You have 2 squads of 10 Space Marines and 2 boxes of Raptors. I'd say Spawn. Chaos Spawn. Or you don't really want to go Demonkin. Demonkin would be cool too, but let me look. What would I think about Chaos Space Marines right now? Obviously Demon Prince, that's the key. I'd say things that are chaosy, like not really obliterators. Mutilators look really cool. You could go some of the you can go Plague Marines or Khorne Berserkers but I really like Possessed. Possessed would be really cool. Possessed or who else? I'm sorry, I'm looking at Chaos right now. Possessed would be kind of cool for your theme. Or Chaos Spawn would be really fun too. That kind of thing. That's what I recommend. Yeah, good things. No problem. We're at 20K90. Thank you so much for your question. But for the Grey Knights, anything else you think? Yeah, I think you're in great shape for the Grey Knights. And for the Chaos Space Marines, I'd add some chaosy one of the models. Like, Possessed would be really just cool theme-wise. And I think it'd be fun to paint. For a diorama especially. Because they have the really chaosy look to them. Like the Possessed have that part demon aspect to them. And they look really nice. If you paint them up, they look amazing. How's the Geek? Says, hey Jay, Matt from the UK here again. A couple questions for you. What do you prefer, pizza or burgers? I had pizza tonight, but I usually prefer burgers. And why are Tau such a pain in the backside to play against? Because they are unbelievable at shooting. And they have a lot of special rules which prevent your opponent's assault. So arguably, there are very few armies to outgun them. And it's very hard to assault them. So, and on top of that, because they kind of have so many ways to prevent assault through their means of jumping, like move, shoot, jump, and for combined Overwatch, that it's just frustrating because all you're watching is your opponent shoot you the entire game and whittling down, whittling down, whittling down, whittling down. And they also have a couple units that are really annoying. Like the Ghost Keel is just hilarious to play against. So that's kind of why. But it teaches own, as I said. I'll play against Town any day of the week, but I agree that they can be a pain in the butt sometimes. Keep up the good work, Jay. Geek on. For sure, House of Geek. Thank you so much. Alec Thompson says, hey Jay, love the content. Would you go to one of the only wargaming conventions in Ontario? It's called Hot Lead, and it's hosted in Stratford, Ontario. Every game is represented there. It deserves to get some coverage. It is the 18th and 19th of March for Warhammer 40k. Thanks, keep up the great work. I don't think I'll be able to make it this year because I had to give in my availability 2 weeks ago for my job. But we'll see. If I have the opportunity, I'll definitely make it down. I won't know for certain for a couple weeks now. But I had to book off the end of March for Adepticon, and I can only get off a certain number of days per month for my 2 jobs. So we'll see. But for sure, if I ever have the opportunity, I would love to go, for sure. Stratford's not that far. Hot Lead. I'll check that out. Check out the website for it. Andrew McCormick says, hi Jay. Forgot to ask, how would you move the 40k story forward? It's been stagnant for a while, so what do you think changed? Return of Primarchs? Death of Slaanesh? Death of the Emperor? I was actually going to say Death of the Emperor. I think it would be really cool, kind of like the End Times. I would never go End Times on 40k, okay? I'm saying that right now. I don't want the world to blow up and to restart again. Death of the Emperor. And then have the Loyalist Space Marines shattered, right? Their world has been shattered by the death of the Emperor. And it weakens the good guys. And they have to then fight against the bad guys. The bad guys take advantage of the death of the Emperor, right? And then they strike. That'd be really cool. That's me. The Emperor since the Emperor is kind of the main, is the thing that binds 40k, is the Emperor, right? It's for the Empire. Death, for the Emperor. So the death of the Emperor would instantly move the storyline infinitely forward because with him gone, so many things would happen in the universe. People would stop being slaves. So many people thousands of lives would stop being sacrificed to the Emperor for every day, And what if he dies in a way that somehow brings back, as you said, I wouldn't say introducing a new race. They recently introduced a new race with the, I guess the Skitarii and stuff, but Chaos Crusade that actually achieves something, that'd be interesting too. I would say Death of the Emperor, to me, would be the biggest catalyst so quickly. Personally, I would have all the Tau caught in a big net and battered than deep fried fish and chips. Maybe sushi. Cool. That's a great comment, Andrew McCormick. Yeah, I'd say Death of the Emperor, for sure. That's what I would instantly say to jump the story forward, because it would mean so much to so many things of the factions. Other than Tyranids and a couple others, Death of the Emperor would be huge. Huge. So that's it. So it's been a half an hour in, but that's all the questions we have for today. Everyone, thank you so much for all your questions and your comments and your love of Miniature Painting 101 and drop pods. And I promise I'll be keeping this series going. I just needed a month to kind of get my head back into shape, and it's okay now. So thank you as always for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Until next time, this is Jay saying happy leap year and happy painting.